Welcome to the 2022 Sell-Side Technology Awards winners interviews. Now I'm joined by Jethro MacDonald, who is Product Manager for Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning at SmartStream, which won the Best Artificial Intelligence Technology category in this year's SST Awards. So first up, welcome Jethro, congratulations to you personally and also to SmartStream for this category win in this year's SST Awards.
Yeah, thank you very much for the award, and thank you for having me as well.
Good. Okay, let's talk initially about SmartStream's AR strategy, which we know is based ostensibly on two offerings, SmartStream Air and SmartStream, more recently, SmartStream Affinity. Can you talk me through the attributes and the specific business applications, that is the kind of the specific use cases of both those products, Jethro?
Yeah, of course, not a problem. So yeah, I'll talk through SmartStream Air first, and which kind of lead into SmartStream Affinity. So basically Air is our latest cloud native technology where we're using the latest innovations in AI and machine learning. Yep. So what we do is we actually help clients quickly onboard using AI to show them how that data maps together. Mm-hmm. So we propose back to them match rules that they can either approve or they can edit themselves as well. But it really speeds up that whole onboarding process. Yep. And then Affinity is actually baked into the Air product as well, but we've also created it as a microservices. So we've rolled it out to our other suite of solutions that we have, like TLM Premium and Aurora. And what that does is it actually learns from a user's actions. So say if you're a reconciler and you're in doing your day-to-day manual tasks, you're matching data, it learns from the different data sets that you've matched, and then it proposes matches back to you based on what it's learned. So it really speeds up that whole manual matching process.
Okay, so it kind of sits in the background, observes the user, mimics the user, and then over time kind of improves and becomes more efficient and more performant, I suppose, than a human would ever be able to achieve, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's looking at the patterns that they're across, multiple unmatched records. It's looking at the patterns of what a user has previously done, and it will continually learn from that. So as they continue manually match, it learns more and more, and then proposes those back to the user. So instead of them having to repeat, logical steps that they might do that they've known because they've reconciled this rec for X amount of time, it actually just speeds all that up, then proposes back to them, and if they agree with that, they can match it or they can disagree and unmatch it.
Okay, so Jethro, from an AI perspective, what have been the functional highlights that have been added to Air and Affinity over the last 12 months? Obviously, these products are not static, so so that's the first part. So what are the kind of the functional highlights that have been added, and how have those enhancements, and I suppose this is a key question, how have those enhancements impacted SmartStream's clients in terms of enhancing the various business processes that they are being used to support?
Yeah, of course. So really, we're looking to kind of utilize the AI in a far quicker and more robust way. So it's continually learning. It's doing this across larger data sets, every time, and also some of the from an AI perspective, some of the things we've actually looked to embed in our solution is also PDF ingestion. So we're actually able to use microservices that are available to us in AWS, and we've used one which is an AI-based textract service, which can actually kind of scan and read a PDF, and it doesn't just have to be a table-like structure, for example. It can be a receipt that someone has scanned in, but it's smart enough to be able to read and understand how that data comes together. And then we're able to present that back to Air so we can use that for reconciliation. And this is like a really powerful use case from an AI perspective, because, if you've got something like an expenses system where you've got a load of receipts being copied in, you can almost remove the workers that have to validate that receipt and say, oh yes, that amount that someone has entered is actually what's on the receipt. So it's a really smart use of technology and a clever use of the AI.
Good. Okay. Next question to you, Jethro, is can you give or provide me with any specific kind of measurables, possibly in terms of time and cost savings, for example, that clients can reasonably expect on the back of the adoption of Air and Affinity? In other words, typically, what does the AI allow them to do that they ordinarily wouldn't be able to? And can you provide some kind of measurables So let's say, for example, huge data sets that that the AI can reconcile in significantly faster timeframes than a human would ever be able to do. Something along those kind of lines. Can you provide me with any kind of specific measurables?
Yeah, of course. So basically, our aim is to really remove the sort of the need to do all that analysis without the help of machine. We're kind of doing it very quickly with the use of AI. So, typically the way recs are built is you'll have a business analyst who will understand how that data comes together, and then a reconciler will build that off spec. Actually, what you can do with Air is build a lot of really fast recs without having that understanding of the data. It shows you how that data comes together. So that's really powerful if you've got some ad hoc reconciliations that you need to do and control processes. In terms of, what we talk about measurables, we had a client where our pre-sales consultants were able to build 30 recs within 2 days for them and pretty much build out their whole control framework within those 2 days. And that's crazy, right? This is the kind of stuff that would typically take, 6 to 9 months in, the original world that we were in. But now we're in this place where actually we can do this so much quicker.
Yeah.
And that's a huge cost saving, right? Because a lot of the cost in hosting these kind of systems or having these systems is actually that development cost, right? So yeah, it's crazy how we've moved from these really long kind of development cycles to this very short window now to actually get yourself up and running.
Good. Okay. Final question to you before I let you go, Jethro, and that is, we've spoken about what SmartStream has kind of bled into the products over the last 12 or 18 months. Let's look forward now. And what has SmartStream got in store over the next 12 to 18 months in terms of new features and or functions that it is planning to roll out on the AI front?
Yeah, of course. So I think one of the main things that we're looking to do in the next few months is actually AI and exception management. So we spoke about how we've got AI now in the onboarding process and then also the manual matching process.
Right.
Actually, what we're looking to do is get that from an AI perspective. So we know from a reconciliation point of view, a lot of the tasks that come out of breaks and things like that, the sending an email to someone, attaching a statement here, creating, a write-off of X amount, all this stuff is a manual task that clients currently have to do. And we know that if we embed AI into that process, we can completely streamline that whole process and save them so much time and money in doing that.
Okay. Jethro, that's a great point to finish our conversation on. Thanks again to you for making the time available to chat to me today. Congratulations again to you personally as head of this kind of AI business unit within SmartStream, and also to SmartStream as well for yet more wins in the AI realm. I look forward to catching up with you in the not too distant future. And there's obviously lots on the that is going to be kind of rolled out into the AI products over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. I'll certainly keep an eye on that as well. So, but thanks very much for spending a little bit of time with me today.
Yep. Thank you, Victor. And thank you for the award.
Good. Thanks.